They really value somebody who has respect for everyone else. Family is very important to them, and the way you treat family members are even more important. Between brothers and sisters is a real line of respect, that you don't disrespect the sisters and the sisters don't disrespect the brothers. That's a big thing out there. And when they see that you're someone who does that, that you know how to treat the opposite gender, it's really held high out there. They also love to joke a lot. Tongans will find anything to joke about, but they're really loving people. They're friendly. The culture out there is way different from what it is out here in America or anywhere else. I believe it's just it'd be rude not to say anything to somebody who's walking by you, even if you're not acquainted with them at all. It's always nice to say hello, good morning, or it's weird. One of the ways you can greet somebody in the morning as they're walking by is, "Where are you going?" You know, and it sounds weird in English. It's when you're brought up in English, that's weird to say, but in Tongan it's perfectly fine, and they'll just tell you, "I'm going this way." And they'll keep walking on their day, but they really appreciate that somebody acknowledges that they exist. And I think at a small island, everybody will say hi to somebody. And missionaries will never starve in Tonga. That's the honest truth. It's really impossible for missionaries to starve in Tonga. You walk in the street, and let's just say there's a couple of guys eating on the side of the road. They'll actually stop you and say, like, "Hey, come and eat." And it'd be rude to walk by a group like that and they wouldn't say nothing, to at least offer the invite. Everybody loves to share. It doesn't matter how much they have, it's what they could actually give to someone else. They do have Christmas, but they do have certain ways they do their Christmas. It's not so much as what presents you have, but actually putting a big feast together and taking it over to other families' houses. And that's the way they celebrate their Christmases, is that they make a whole bunch of dishes of different kinds of foods that they want to make, and they'll take it over to their neighbor's house. And the neighbors will do the same exact thing, the other neighbors and neighbors will do so. And so it really is, it goes back to sharing. You see a lot of brothers, they take care of their own family, but they also always show respect to their sisters' families. And that once their sister's married, they usually get a big, we would say like a big box or a whole bunch of taro and a whole bunch of other things. They'd actually just take it over to her house Christmas Eve and just take a whole bunch of food for them to cook and have for their families. We have a thing, it's called fahu. And fahus are pretty much, the sisters are held higher than the brothers at certain points. The sisters are always held higher, but we would say, like, if you have a wedding, a representative from the father's side, which would be the fahu, would be one of the honorable guests there, especially. So yeah, but at some point somebody's somebody's sister, and so it usually goes around, and when done correctly, everybody gets a piece of the pie. You know, I'm married to somebody who's, you know, held respectably high by their brothers, but I also have my sisters that I appreciate as well. You have your white shirt, your tie, but you have your tauvala, you have your kafa, which is almost like a belt, and then you have your tupenu, and this is like the man skirt. If you're going to court, or if you're going to visit the king, or even attempt to visit the king, you won't be let past the gate unless you actually have the proper attire, which requires you to wear a tauvala and a tupanu and a dress shirt.